What's up, everybody? Jason Cole here with RCGroups.com, and we're taking a look at RFX, the RealFlight experience. And here we go. We're in the workshop here, turning the lights on. This is pretty cool. So this is the menu screen. This is where you're going to start everything. And we've got lots of options. We've got practice, scenarios, racing, a flight log. We can review our flights, settings. We'll kind of go through all of that stuff a little bit later, but for now, let's jump into the practice. This makes it easy to get into flying. You can go here to select your aircraft. There's lots of aircraft to choose from. There's airplanes, helicopters, drones, sailplanes. You kind of got everything you can imagine available, even blimps. But so you can select your airport. There's lots of different flying fields, and these are amazing photorealistic 3D rendered scenery, so you can actually fly through them as well as third person standing. But once you've picked what you want, let's just hit the fly button, and it just takes a second to load. And we will be jumping right into the field here. So we've got a giant scale airplane. I think this is a night flyer. Actually, you can see the lights on the wingtips. But you know, this allows you to fly around. You can practice, do anything you want. You can turn the smoke on. You can have some fun. The physics on this simulator are the best I have ever seen. It is as close to real life as you can get. It just handles very similar to a real airplane. And you can see slipping in here, coming in for a landing, little bounce. Very cool stuff. You can actually see the control surfaces move, the reflections, the lighting, the shadows. This thing just absolutely looks amazing, and this isn't even rendered what it looks like on the computer screen. You can actually even hear the servo movements as you wiggle the control surfaces, so that is pretty dang cool. Alright, so while we're sitting here, let's jump on into the environment menu. Here's where you can make a lot of adjustments. You can change the sun angle. You can add wind speed and turbulence. You can change the clouds. It's just really cool environmental things that you can play with and change up the scenery to your liking. The other thing you can do is modify the camera. So we can change it from a fixed position camera to a nose or chase or cockpit view. The chase is a lot of fun if you want to fly through the environment. You can see here the planes in front and you're following along. You can explore these environments, you can have fun, you can snap roll into the trees and have it break apart. Pretty crazy. Alright, let's take a look at a different view. I've changed it to the Mustang, and we're going to go, I think, to a cockpit view. Let's check out this, see what it looks like. So now we're in the cockpit of a P-51 Warbird. Smoke on, taking off. And it is just awesome looking. It gives you that experience. You can see the reflections on the canopy as you change the angle through the sun. Man, just really cool looking. Lots you can do, lots to explore. You can buzz the trees, go check out the environment. Man, it's just a blast. So that is pretty cool, and that's some of the different camera options you can play with in RFX. Okay, now let's jump back into the menu and take a look at the scenarios. So this is really new. This allows you to just kind of try different things. Aerobatics, soaring, night flying. There's lots of different scenarios you can play with. This is one of my favorites called Night Flying at the Creek. And it's a giant scale airplane at night with the lights on, and it looks so great. It looks like a video of real life to me on my monitor. It's just amazing, you know, how well this looks and how well it runs. I've got a pretty good gaming computer with good graphics cards, so I'm able to run these things at a pretty high resolution and full graphics, and it just looks simply stunning. So this is a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite scenarios that I've played with. Being able to do these full-scale aerobatics under the stars on the runway. You can see the lights shining on the ground there. It looks so stinking cool. And you can hover, get it down on the deck, turn on the smoke via one of the switches. It's hard to get better than this. It's so much fun, and it's great practice, but it's also great fun. So here we go, getting down on the deck. You can see the lights spinning, shadows. There comes the smoke. It's so cool. It's been a long time since I've hovered, but you know, picked it up pretty quick. It's like riding a bike. Do some high alpha rollers here. So that is awesome. So the scenarios, it just allows you to try different things that you might not think of. It allows you to explore. There's different sceneries for each scenario and different you know, types of flying. Oops, hit the ground. Keep flying though. Didn't break anything on that one, so that's good. But anyway, so give scenarios a try. You might find something, different aspect of the hobby you've never done before that you might fall in love with. So I think that's really cool that they give you that option to be able to go explore the hobby. Alright, let's dive into another scenario here, and this is cliffside soaring. So we've got a pretty big sailplane here, and we're flying off the slope lift. And this is pretty similar to real life. As long as there's wind coming up the mountains and hills, then you can fly off of that rising air as it hits the mountain and fly for hours or days on end if you like, if you've got enough battery power. We don't have to worry about that in the simulator though. You can just enjoy the lift all you want. Now this lift here does seem pretty extreme to me based on my past experiences, but you can dial that down and change the wind speed and a lot of different options. You can add thermals, can play with it, but man, it really feels like you're on the cliff soaring. You can put a fan next to your computer and blow it on your face and make it feel even more realistic. Would be pretty fun, but there's just lots of cool options you can play with in scenarios. So let's go dive into another one and check out the helicopters. Alright, so I'm not a fantastic helicopter pilot, but it does give you lots of practice and experience without trashing parts and breaking it and spending lots of money. This does allow you to learn. You can do lots of aerobatics, inverted, there's idle up, there's actually a throttle kill switch, so you can do auto rotations and practice your landings and kind of nail the physics down on that. It's pretty realistic, so it is great practice for you to learn new maneuvers and just do that safely and very easily and be really efficient with your training. Okay, before we jump into the racing section, I want to show you a little bit about the menus here. We've got the flight log, and you can turn this on and set it to record your flights so you can review them and play back. And you can just select one. They're all time date stamped. And it'll load up, and then it'll show you your flight. And you can actually change the camera view while you're reviewing the flight, so you can look at it from different angles to record from. So that's pretty neat. And then if we go back to the main menu, let's take a look at some of the setting options here. So we've got video. This is where you can change your resolution, some of your quality. You can change your audio settings, make adjustments there to your liking. On the controller, you can calibrate the controller. You can set up your real radio to be tethered to the game. Physics, we can adjust it for more easy flying or more realistic. A lot of options there. We actually have an autopilot built in, so you can, if you need that, you can turn that on there. Alright, we can go back and check out the gameplay. Oops, the wrong button there. So under gameplay, we have options to change it from metric to standard units. You can enable the flight log and set the time for that, as well as the player ghost. So now it's time to jump in to the racing. So racing is a series of progressive challenges that are time trial based. There's airplane ones, there's drone ones, there's different scenarios and flying fields that you do. But you have to accomplish these challenges in a certain amount of time to get a bronze, silver, or gold medal. And once you've unlocked all the bronze medals in the intro and beginner ones, you unlock the intermediate, and they get really, really, really hard as you get towards the end. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into the farmland flyby. It'll take a second to load here. And it'll give us a countdown. We can power on the throttle, and we just got to fly through those rings in the quickest amount of time. So there's one. You can see my ghost image on the right hand side there briefly. It's from a previous flight, so that's kind of cool. You can kind of see yourself flying in previous matches, your best time. On the bottom right hand, we've got the number of rings that we've gone through. We've got flight time. And we're just flying around here, trying to get through all of these rings. There's my ghost, it's beating me. Oh no! And there we go. So we get our time, 35 seconds and 35.17. And it says I've done better. And it lets me know that I need 5 more silver medals to unlock the advanced races. Alright, let's pop over to one of the quadcopter races. Now these are really easy at the beginning, and they actually start you out in auto level mode, so you're kind of flying in an Addy mode. But once you get through some of the harder levels, it does open up full manual control, which is harder to fly, but if you know what you're doing, it's really the best way to go. And the courses are pretty darn tough, so you can see how great this looks though. I mean, this is like flying around on a real race course out in the farm. You know, we're just going pretty slow based on the Addy mode. This is full angle that it allows me to tilt. But it progressively stacks the difficulty on you. So these earlier ones, you know, you're just kind of learning the courses, learning how to fly maybe. They're just pretty easy to get through, and then once you unlock the harder stuff, you're going to have a tough time getting those silver and gold medals. So that's a quick look at all the features of RealFlight Experience. This is hands down the best RealFlight simulator that's been out. The physics, the graphics, everything about it has been improved and refined to bring you the best experience that is the most true to real life. So I highly recommend this if you're looking for a simulator, you want to practice, you want to have fun, you want to race, you want to play around. There's lots and lots of stuff you can do in RFX. It's going to keep you busy for quite some time, so I highly recommend it. Thanks to Knife Edge Software and Hobbico for getting me this advanced copy to check out and share with you guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and you'll be able to see the full review at rcgroups.com.